man, the myth, the legendary bad game. This is Takeshi no Chousenjou. The story of this game is the story of Beat Takeshi. In 1986, the actor, comedian, and all-around famous person was all the rage in Japan, and Taito wanted to capitalize and have him star in a game. They approached Takeshi, and while planning for the game, Takeshi took the programmers out for drinks several times. Since Takeshi was famous, his words held sway, and according to the stories, all of his drunken suggestions made it into the final game. As a result, Takeshi no Chousenjou became a very ambitious game for 1986. Too ambitious for its own good. It's a side-scroller with open-world tendencies, sort of a prototype for River City Ransom and later on Yakuza. It's set in then-modern Japan and is very realistic in a way. You play as some salaryman in a green suit, and as soon as the game begins, you talk to your boss and get scolded for your poor performance before getting your meager salary. From there, you go on a quest to escape your boring Japanese life in search for adventure and treasure. Kind of a noble idea actually, but boy does it get weird along the way. To beat the game, you need to, among other things, quit your job, divorce your wife, learn how to play shamisen, learn to hang glide, play pachinko, get drunk, sing karaoke, get a treasure map, fly to the Pacific, hang glide to an island, and head into a cave to find the hidden treasure. Whew. It has also been said of Beat Takeshi that he didn't actually like video games, and that, coupled with his sense of humor, and possibly his drunkenness, is responsible for the things you have to do in the game. The two most famous is first that you have to let the treasure map you get set in the sun for an hour. Yes, a real hour. 60 minutes of real time. The second is the karaoke. The Famicom's second controller has a mic, as you might know, and at one point you need to sing a song 3 times to be able to continue the game. With the limited technology of the Famicom, this is much easier said than done. And being a bad singer doesn't help either. あなたのためならどこまでもついてゆける私切ない思いを歌にして雨から新開地 But in what was probably a move of mercy by the programmers, there exist shortcuts to pass both of these hurdles. Either it was mercy, or they correctly predicted that future versions of the Famicom wouldn't have the mic, which of course would have made the game unbeatable. The hang gliding section is also extremely difficult. You have to shoot or dodge birds, and if you go down you can't go up again unless you hit a wind puff, which you can accidentally shoot out of the sky. If you get hit once, it's game over, and back to the start. There is a password system luckily, but it's pretty long and slow to enter, so prepare to be annoyed. These special sections are huge hurdles, but the game in general also seems poorly made. Yakuza attack you randomly on the street and they are hard to avoid, and the game is very cryptic in general. It's one of those games where you absolutely need a guidebook. That's why there is one. But it was actually incompetently made, and Taito had to commission a second one, and the author of the first edition died shortly after, adding to the mystique of the whole thing. If you're going to play this game, you need a walkthrough, huge amounts of patience, and this code that enables you to revive after dying, which you will need because most likely the Yakuza on the street will wear you down. There's also a cheat to warp to the last stage, the cave. But in an extremely strange game, you have to have an extremely strange code. The way to do it is, get ready for this, press A on the title screen 20,000 times. Yeah. It does work, I've tried it. But I did it with a turbo controller with a wrench on the A button, and it still took 43 minutes. Takeshi's challenge, or Takeshi no Chousenjou, is almost not as much bad as it is eccentric. Well, yes it is bad, but it's more due to over-ambition than the opposite. It's hugely inventive for its time, and it definitely deserves its place in history. It is one hell of a challenge.